We're now going to focus on marketing and sales. This is the bit where you make your money. Who'd like to make some more money?
Yeah.
Excellent, right. So, exactly, that's why I thought I'd throw that one in there. So, marketing. Let's do a quick whiz round on marketing and sales and how that's going to help you make more money for your business. Well, marketing's like this. The way I see it is like the all the different channels here that you've got to market yourself. You know, it's all these different megaphones that are going out to different places. Your business is communicating with your customers in many different factions. It might be the website, it might be the uniforms that your people are wearing, it might be the vehicle graphics that you've got on, it might be the kind of proposals that you're doing, it could be, there's loads of different ways that your business is touching the outside world. And that's what I say is to do with marketing. And marketing is all about building up education and communication to your clients so that they understand, or your potential clients, why they need to buy from you. And what do you want to do? You want to get yourself into a niche when you do your marketing, multiple niches. Why do you want to do that? Because there's less price competition in a niche, and you're seen as an expert in that area. So immediately that helps you to A, charge a premium, and B, be a recognised expert in that area. Now we talk about marketing. A lot of times the marketing, any accountants in the room will tell you that marketing is an expense. However, as entrepreneurs, we know that marketing is actually investment. But how do we know it's an investment? What do you need to do to make sure that marketing actually is an investment?
Monitor it.
Yeah, monitor and measure it so that you can make sure you're getting a return. You want to be looking to get more back. Take your market and segment it up into the smallest pieces you can so you can target an area. So it could be sector, it could be the size, it could be the demographic, it could be the geography, it could be the product, all different things. So you can segment your market up so you know who you're after, and then you write your message, and your message is driven by your USPs and your guarantees, and that is based around the fears, the frustrations and the desires of your customers or potential customers. And you make sure that message is really strong, and that message is actually, instead of one message fits all, if you think of these as different countries, don't try and talk English to everybody. In fact, if this is, you know, England, that's great, but if it's this Germany, Spain, France and Portugal, you're best speaking the language that they understand in that particular piece of marketing you're doing to them, and then it will actually fit better with them. They'll feel a connection, and it's more likely to work. So you make sure that you have your message that's clear to the different segment that you're after. And then finally, you work out, how am I going to get this message in front of these different people? Well, it's going to be around either online or offline. So online, we're talking web, social media, email, blogs, loads of different ways online to connect with people. And offline, we're talking about simple things like direct mail, telemarketing is always a good one, combining the two together. It could be doing advertising, it could be doing networking, it could be doing expos, flyers, all sorts of stuff. And you want to build it on a one-page plan, just like the 90-day plans you've got now. Which particular thing am I doing? Which area? How am I going to do it? So you've got a simple plan. A big, thick marketing plan that goes in a folder that gets put on the shelf is no good. You need one that's actionable, that you know what you need to do. And to get an unlimited marketing budget, you first need to understand the acquisition cost of winning new clients and the lifetime value that you keep them for. Because let's say we do an advert that's £3,000 in a nice luxury magazine, and you get 10 good quality leads off of it. What's the cost per lead? £300 a lead. And then let's say that you take those £300 leads, and out of those 10 leads, 3 of them become clients. So that means it's then 3 of the initial 3,000. There's a £1,000 acquisition cost to actually get a client. Now that might be expensive unless you're selling yachts or £20,000 kitchens or whatever, and then actually that might be a good deal. So you've got to work out what's right, and you've got to work out how long people stay with you for. You know, you might be an accountant and you might keep people for 20 years as a client. So you could probably spend a couple of £100 up front to win that client without too much worry. So it's about making sure you understand how do we bring down the acquisition costs, and one of the best ways is referrals, obviously, so that's free marketing. So referral marketing blends the costs down, and that's what we're looking to achieve. A lower cost of acquisition and keep them for a lot longer with the lifetime value. So there it is, the market, the message and the media. So understand your target market. Who are you talking to? What's their language? You know, look at the magazines they read. Look at the, you know, sort of get an understanding of who they are and how they operate. Communicate to them in their language. And one of the things of communication is the Cialdini stuff. So if any of you have heard of the 6 Keys to Influence from Cialdini, I highly recommend you either listen to it on your Audible or read the book. But the first one is about reciprocity, so givers gain. So are you giving them some helpful information? Obviously one of the things I'm doing is creating this as a video so I can give this information away to people to help them. Commitment, so get people to make a commitment to you. So either fill out a form, turn up to a workshop. That's a good sign, it shows they're interested. Yeah, so you get people to make commitments to do things. You use social proof in your marketing. Social proof is other people saying so. In other words, testimonials, case studies, other people showing that it's true will help your clients believe it much more than what you say. Liking. That's about being a nice character and nice people to deal with in the way that you deal with people. Building that rapport. Doing things like, you know, I just did that 500-mile charity bike ride, you know, trying to do things for the betterment and the good of other people and other things as well. Authority. It's about having authority. So, you know, as I said, I showed you at the beginning, my credentials, 10 years as a coach, award winning, my clients winning a load of awards from the work that we've done, all that kind of stuff. It's all about creating credibility. So that's your trust badges. So you might be, if you're an electrician, then you got your stamp to say that you can do the electrical work, or you know, whatever industry you're in, you'll have the different stamps to prove that you are regulated or whatever. And then scarcity. So in marketing, you know, if everything's abundant, then there's no urgency. Create a little bit of urgency. When I said there were limited places for this venue, I was not lying. There's only one, well, there's no spaces left, are we? We're pretty much full. So that's the point. You know, you create desire and a limited action, limited space, so that they take some action, or limited numbers of stock, or until stocks run out, or whatever it is. It's that kind of creating that thing. If you're booking appointments for yourself, by the way, when someone phones you up, you go, oh, I can fit you in any time, whenever's good for you, whatever you want. No, you want to be scarce and busy so that they want to see you when they can. So, creating the message. You know, it's all right to be unique, but uniqueness still has to be functional. As you can see, that's an unfunctional fork. But the sorts of things you can do, you can build your USPs around quality and service and knowledge, convenience, all that kind of stuff. But these are like, if you like, the bare bones, and what you've got to do is then build around that and flesh it out so that it becomes something that sounds good about you, why it's different, why people want to get services from you as opposed to other people in your vicinity who do the same service as you. And you put a guarantee in place. Guarantees work because they build confidence. They give security, they reduce the risk. You know, it's a contract between you, it builds trust. You're prepared to put your money where your mouth is, so to speak. You know, quality creates difference. So with me, anyone who works for me for 17 weeks on a full coaching program will receive a guarantee from me, which is if in 17 weeks we haven't found enough to cover the cost of having me in your business, I'll work with you for free until we do. Because I know I can do it. We were there the other afternoon. I think we easily found loads of ideas that are going to pay for what we've got to do. We've just got to implement them now. So what are your 3 biggest fears, frustrations and desires? That's what you're going to be asking your customers. So you know, why are they stressed out with dealing with your industry? Why are they stressed out dealing with you? What is it that you can resolve? What's the pain that you can resolve? Or what's the desire, the human need that you can meet? So if you can do that, and in your message it's all about that, you'll end up engaging with people's emotions, which is what marketing is about. It's about connecting to them and their emotions and how they're feeling, rather than just the logical brain. So when we're looking at marketing, we've got to look at this combination of online and offline, making sure we're getting our materials so that they look right. So I've got the colours, I've got the brand, I'm wearing the brand, it's the colours, it's the, you know, it's all coming together with the same colour, the same message, the same styling. So you're making sure your online and your offline stuff is all working together to help, and it should be cross-fertilising each other. You know, if they go online, they should be able to download things or print things out. If you've got hard copies of stuff, then you're directing them online to do things. So you're combining the two. And when they go online, you want to be data capturing wherever you can, so that if you've got an advert in the paper, don't just direct them to your, you know, make a phone call, direct them to the website as well to register so they get something special or do something, so that you're actually capturing their information. You know who they are then. And then we've got to use some more of these advanced marketing tools. You know, don't send emails out through Outlook, whatever you do. I mean, people are still out there doing that. There are tools out there that you can use. You can have a CRM, have a database, know who they are. You know, you might own a sweet shop and think that you don't need to know the data of people, but if you know who's coming in and out of your shop, you can remarket to them when it comes for Easter, Christmas, birthdays, all that kind of stuff. It's about capturing their information. I had it for a dry cleaners once. I was like, you've got to capture their information. You don't know who they are, who are coming in and out. You can never remarket to them. You know, get your suits done, get your quilts done, get this done, get that done. Restaurants are the worst for it. They just let people walk in and walk out. They haven't got a clue who they are. So make sure you're capturing their information so you can remarket to them. So if you're going to do anything, make sure that you're doing it, it's a quality piece that represents the quality of who you are. So I'm pleased to say I've just had these done, so I've got some nice new folders, make sure that they work, using both sides, nice quality work. So you make sure you're doing something good. Originality, use clever photos. I'll put that one on there. It's like, you know, have a rocket on your back rather than up your, you want to sit? Ada, so grab people's attention, spark an interest, create a desire, call to action. So that's really important if you're going to ever design a direct marketing piece, whether it be an advert or whether it be a letter. You make sure you're using Ada. So Ada at the top, attention, have a big headline. Make sure you're grabbing the attention on a headline. Something that asks a question or a ... Make sure it's like at least 20-25% part of the top page that grabs people. Look at newspapers, been doing it for a long time, that's how they do it. Have a nice big image as well. It's another thing they do. The image it gains an interest. And the interest is all about, you know, something, it can be something negative, because for some reason as human beings we like to sort of look at negative things, the news and newspapers, how much good news are in them? Not a lot. Yeah, so it can be a desire piece. It can be sort of, you know, even maybe a before and after. So have something that gathers interest. So the interest part here, and then the desire part here, and then literally you have some kind of call to action. So, you know, call this number now, register on the website now, do something that calls to action and get some special offer. You know, think about your offer, make it a really strong one, make it a no-brainer. They'd be crazy not to register for it. And make sure it's consistent in your branding. So now I'm going to share with you a powerful equation that I use for developing businesses. It goes with the business flow. In other words, You start with marketing to generate leads. Those leads get converted with sales into new business. That new business gets processed by customer service and delivered by operations, and finance makes sure they pick up the money. That's how we do it. That's the flow through business. So what we've got to do is work on marketing, then sales, customer service. Then when we're doing customer service, if we do it well, we basically get them to buy more of the stuff that they need, and we get them to come back more often. Then you increase your turnover, and you improve your true margins because you've got good financial information, you can figure out what they are. That improves your profit. So the first area we work on, believe it or not, is your margins. Now some people are like, hang on a minute, I just asked you to do marketing for me. Why are we working on margins? Does anybody know the answer?
Easiest place to get more money.
Well, it's the easiest place to get more money. It drops straight to the bottom line. But not only that, how much of a product do you want to sell that doesn't make you any profit, that's going to send you bust quicker? Yeah, you don't want to be doing that. You want to be working out, what money am I making on what products, and are those things good things to sell? When you do, sell more of them. Work out what your product mix is and sell more of them. So then you work on sales, you work on conversion rates, you work on ways to improve your sales processes, improving it. Then, when they're in the middle of being sold to, you look for other things to upsell or cross-sell to them so they can buy other bits and pieces. And then you get them to come back in. So you ask them back again, or you give them a loyalty card, or you do something to get them coming back more often. Just staying in touch with them is a good start. And finally we work on marketing. Now that's interesting, isn't it? This is all about marketing, and the last thing you work on is the marketing lead generation. Why is that? Well, because it's 6 or 7 times more expensive to get a new lead than it is to work on all your existing stuff. This is all the existing stuff that's already in the bucket. Yeah, these are all your holes. Make sure they're fully filled out so there's no holes, and then work on pouring in the top with marketing. So let me show you the power of this equation. So marketing times sales equals more customers. So let's say you've got 1,000 customers, and you get them to buy £1,000 worth of product twice a year. So you've got a 2 million turnover business. 2 million turnover with a 25% margin, you've now got a £500,000 profitability in your business. If we just do 10% in each area, and it's literally the equation, the profit equation. So I'm going to share with you how we improve each of these areas and then do the profit equation. So on marketing, the thing that we need to work on is first testing and measuring. What marketing are you doing? What's working? Once we know what's working, what do we do? More of the stuff that works and stop the stuff that isn't working. Create a referral system. If you tell me that word of mouth is one of your most powerful things in your business, then you better have a proper system for making sure you're getting word of mouth business and you're consistently asking for it. Strategic alliances, people that recommend people that you work with in partnership. So making sure that you're working with good strategic partners. Websites, make sure these days everybody's going to check you out online. You have websites, you can have newsletters, you have email marketing, stay in touch with people. Direct mail and telemarketing, go out there, put your information. How many people get emails? Loads of them. How many people get a nice letter these days? Not many. So a good way of getting in touch with people these days is send them a nice letter. These days you'll be amazed how many people don't get letters, get loads of email. So make sure you follow up though, because direct mail on its own is like a 1% return. With telemarketing goes up to around 17. Working on sales. So we've got to now work on sales to improve things. So we've got to ask for the sale to start with. We've got to make sure we've got a pipeline that we follow up on each person at least 3 times. Don't just send them a quote and then hope that it's going to come in at some point in the near future. Hey Mark. And then have a sales process in place so that you can follow a consistent process. Like we said, we mapped it out before. How does it work? How do you consistently do it? Have you got models that you use? This is my model that you're seeing here, the orbit. Have you got a model to demonstrate what you do? You can see that we've got a structured process that works. You must have too, so why don't you turn it into some kind of model to explain that to people? Scripts. Make sure you've got consistent things that people say, so that when people answer the phone in the business, they answer it in the right way. Like, "Hi, you're through to Bright Advices, Emerson speaking. How can I help?" In a nice way. Have things in place so that it looks slick. When people go out and see people, they've got the same sort of information they give. Because I know it's all in your head, Mark, but when you take on a new estimator, what we've got to do is make sure he's saying the same stuff that you say. Yeah. So we need to write that out so people know what's expected to be said. Use a written guarantee. So you put a guarantee in place, you're putting your money where your mouth is, people are more likely to use you than not with somebody else. And then eventually you want to be setting targets and displaying the results openly. So that's really important, so that people are like, oh, they're up against it. You've got a sales team, they need to see who's doing what, and they can see what's happening and where things are going, and that kind of pushes things on to happen even more. So in sales, as I said, develop a sales process. So you step by step, how does it happen? How does it go through the business? I use a model here from the Trust, Need, Help, Hurry model, which is a really good way of first building trust, understanding who people are, get to know them, build that relationship. Need is all about understanding what they want. If you can understand what they want, then you can deliver your solution and then help hurry them through the process to make a decision. Have some kind of reason why you want to do it and what you want to do. So this is Tom Hopkins' Sell It Today, Sell It Now. If anybody wants to look it up, read it, listen to it, it's very good, and that's what I use. Have some sales tools. If you're a salesman, you've got to go out there. If you're a Sparky, you need to have a tool set to fix things. If you're a salesman, you need a tool set. In that tool set, you need things like presentations, marketing models, you need nice looking folders, you need nice looking presentations, you need nice looking proposals, you need things that are going to help you win the business. Make sure you're able to monitor what's going on. Look at the targets. Are people achieving what you want them to achieve? And eventually you'll probably end up hiring some salespeople. We've got 15 of them out here. It's all about making sure they consistently do what we want them to do, and making sure that they're all on show and they know that they're competing and that they got to get their commission. So with you guys, it's the same. Even if it's just yourself, set yourself targets. If you're the salesperson, when you wear your sales hat, think, what do I want my, you're the MD and you're talking to the salesman in the mirror, what do you want them to do? And eventually you hire a sales director to run the whole piece. So once you've sold more, now you've got to get them to buy more often, or buy more from you. So when you're in the middle of selling, great thing to have is get them to buy more often. So stay in touch with them, have a CRM, a customer relationship management tool. I can't explain to you how important it is. You know who your customers are, you know their information, and you can get back to them regularly. And ask them to come back. So this is the new service on the government scheme, the business growth service. I've gone back to some of my old clients. Within a couple of phone calls, I've got another 3 new clients again. Thanks, Ricky, for coming back on board. And get them to buy more. So get them to use like a checklist when you're going through it. Do you with your fence that you're about to buy, do you need paint? Do you need painting brushes? Do you need cleaners to clean the paint off the brushes? Etc, etc. We had the conversation the other day, which was like, that'd be an easy way to sell more stuff every time they make a sale. And true margins. Obviously you've got to know what they really are. What's actually happening? What's the margin per job? Don't look at a blend for the month. Look at each job that comes in. Does it make you money? If not, why not? What's going on with it? Is there a problem in the system? Is there a problem with some people? Work it out. Work out ways to reduce costs in your business. Renegotiate with all your major suppliers. Increase your prices is another way to make more margin straight away. As we talked about, drop it straight to the bottom line. Are there ways of improving efficiencies in the business so you're not wasting time and money doing other things? And stop running marketing that doesn't work, wasting that money. So, now the power of the compounding. We add 10% to each area. You'll see that we go from 1,000 to 1,210 customers. Buy more, we get 1,100. more often, it's 10%, that's 2.2. You've now got, instead of a 2 million, you've got a nearly a 3 million turnover business. If you do 10% again on the margins, you've now got an 805,000 profit business rather than 500,000. Who'd like another £300,000 just by implementing a couple of simple strategies across the business? And that's how businesses grow. This is all we do. And imagine you do that year on year. And you keep looking at ways of growing it, developing it. And that's how small companies become bigger companies. And finally, you hire a marketing director to worry about all that, so you don't have to. So there's a few tips in there under marketing. Customer satisfaction. Make sure you grade your customers A's, B's, C's and D's so you can work out which ones you want to work on. Look after your A's and B's, C's and D's. D's, get rid of them. Wrap them up as a nice basket and send them to your biggest competitor so that they can have them because you're too busy and they can have all the problems. Have that great CRM, do these strategic alliances. So really, now if you'd like to write up your sales and marketing goals,